In exercise 416, we're looking at the case of Wild Home and Garden, a company that has 3 different departments with various profitabilities. In part A of the exercise, we're asked to find the weighted average contribution margin ratio. By taking this total column, which is comprised of the sums of sales, variable costs, and so forth from the first 3 columns, we can merely take the quotient of contribution margin in total divided by the sales number in total, which gives us 0.324766. Think about that as a percentage. The CM ratio is a percentage of sales. I know in the text it asks you to round the numbers. That's really not necessary here. In fact, there could be times where that could be misleading if we round too early. So it's probably good practice not to round at this point. In part B, we're asked what is the sales level needed to reach the target. And remember, this will be before tax profit of $600,000. So as you think about that, the sales needed to reach $600,000, well, considering exercise 4-3, we would take the sum of the total fixed costs plus the target, and then here divided by this ratio, 0.324766 and change. So the sales that we would need to reach that particular target, assuming the same product mix, would be 2.6 million, a little bit over 2.63 million. So right now we're at 440,000 in before tax profit, and so to increase that, we'd have to increase the sales accordingly. In part C, we're told that Wild is considering placing an ad in the newspaper to try to generate greater revenue. And they say, well, all else equal. And as an economist or someone trained in economics, I love this all else equal. Which department would you emphasize in the ad? Well, in order to answer this type of question, it's like, well, where would we get the most bang for our buck for this advertising? So one thing we could do is look at the individual CM ratios to see where we might generate the greatest bit of benefit. So if we take for Department A, 160 divided by 285, we get just over 56%. And moving forward, we say 37 and 20%. And it may be a little bit easier to see these in percentage terms, even if we're going to increase that a little bit. But notice that Department A has the highest, by far the highest CM ratio. And so, in other words, lowest variable cost per sales dollar. Now, the student would probably say, well, why aren't we selling more from Department A altogether? Notice that Department A is at 285 in sales, and the other two are over 900 in sales when we have just over 2 million in total sales. So Department A's relative share is very small. Well, again, all else equal, one of the things that you might be considering is that Department A is being able to appear to be so profitable, or at least contribute so much, due to the demand for the product offered in Department A. In that regard, it would be nice if we could try to encourage sales, through advertising, because it offers the greatest margin at this point. But we have to be careful. What does the demand curve look like for the departments being offered to the products being offered in Department A? That's something that we don't want to lose revenues that we currently have by having to drop the price too much in order to generate greater revenues. So, in other words, if the 285 is yielding a great margin as it appears to be, well, maybe we have a few buyers who have very high willingness to pay, that in order to go to 300 or 400, the cost structure might change. We might have to drop the price too much. So, in this exercise, there's the greatest potential for generating profits at a faster rate if we go through Department A. But I just want you to be cautious as you examine that, because it may be that we're not being able to see some sort of price sensitivity.